All right, everybody. I'm Ryan.
My name is Justin.
Welcome back to the Maddox Minute. Today we have Ty Graves with us. I'm throwing full names because government needs to know everything.
And it's going to show up in the podcast anyways.
But today we are talking about
Pride.
We're trying to get canceled. Our third episode.
We've been trying every episode.
Well, I mean, we really hadn't been trying. We just figured it happened naturally, but we're really going to go for it this time. If not this time, next time. Today, we're talking about sexuality, if I could actually say that word, sexuality and gender. We are going to hit on the
Thai? No.
31 flavors of gender.
Okay, that's better. I'm okay with that one.
Or is it 51? I don't know. Baskin Robbins. It's a 31, right?
52.
70. I don't know. I think I've maybe ate there once.
Ty, how many is there?
That's the gay one. What's up? No, I'm just picking.
How many flavors of ice cream there are? I heard Baskin Robbins. I'm not gonna lie.
How many genders are there?
Don't ask me this. Because a lot of people say there's just, I guess. See, don't ask me this.
As a member of the LGBTQ community, how many genders are there?
Yeah, what do y'all rep?
See, whereas there's so many though, because people are born intersex, which means they're born with both parts. There are people who are born female. There are people who are born male. There's people who
intersex,
don't even
with both parts. That's been called hermaphrodite for like ever.
I guess, but at the same time, they do ask to be called intersex.
Okay. That was me kind of, I guess, backhanded question. I don't know. Hey, look, I'm new to this. This is 100% two straight guys trying to figure this out. So, trying to figure this stuff out. Sorry.
Ryan was born in the 80s, which none of this was really a thing. I was born almost 10 years later. So, I'm at the tail end of his generation, essentially. And then we have you, who is
we had gay people before I was born. I grew up around gay people. That's okay, but the pansexual, all these other pronouns and this and that, it's like Ty, you and I, we talked about, we've touched base outside of the podcast on the whole they and them pronoun. Like, I didn't understand it because how does someone identify as they? It's kind of like, how are you more than one person? That's kind of almost like a schizophrenia type thing. But then now you have pronouns that are they and them, and that's just now one person. We got yeet in the dictionary now. The English language is changing. So don't quote me on anything. So that's why we're asking you.
I kind of want to look up and see if yeet's in the dictionary now, just to check.
It is. It's in Webster's dictionary as of like 5 years ago.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Welcome to the world.
Yeah. America.
That's what I was gonna say, but
all right. So like
more confusing every day, and
Like here, my mom is
I don't know. That's something that
53 this year.
your mom is what?
53 this year. And a few years ago, she came out as lesbian.
My mom is 50.
She was born 1970.
I don't think she's a lesbian.
My
I'd have to call her
mom's
and ask her.
45. She was born in 77. She likes girls too. But she's in a relationship with a man. So, I mean, she's bisexual, but that's what I'm trying to say without like outing my mom. Well, I just did.
You
My bad,
kind of
mom.
said it without saying
My
it.
bad, mom.
But like my mom being 45 or something like that at the time when she came out, she was dating a 21-year-old. I was 20, my brother was 23.
Okay.
Hey,
You fall in love.
I got a question. Just yes or no. I will call you back later and explain everything. I just need yes or no. You're 54, correct?
No, baby, I'm 58.
Oh yeah, because I'm 38. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Mama Maddox.
An age. Okay. Now, again, just yes or no. Are you lesbian?
Am I what?
A lesbian.
No.
Okay, I'll call you back later. Love you.
All right. Too.
Okay, bye. Okay, so it's just y'all two.
All right, and everybody, that was Mama Maddox with awkward questions.
I tried to join the club, but she's got all kinds of questions.
So I said that because when I first came out as like, because at first I didn't know what I was, but like, I don't know, I was always raised with like the sentiment of education first, boys last. So you have to imagine like I wasn't allowed to date. All I could do was focus on education. Well, like I looked at my mom or I looked at my friends first. And I was like, guys, I found a loophole to dating. And they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, my mom has said I couldn't date girls. Like she never said I couldn't date any girls. So I ended up like dating a girl, my very first girlfriend for like a year and 7 months. Well, when I had first like told my mom, she kind of went off. It was like a half-hour lecture of how it was wrong and everything. And then she came back like, a little bit later and she apologized and she's like, you know what, I can't say anything because I like girls too. And I was just like, so then what was, she was like, I guess it was just a shock, even though I already knew you liked girls. Like ever since I was like younger, she had known that I wasn't a big fan of men. But I can't really say that I'm not like a lesbian. It's probably why I say I'm pansexual, because it's not really your gender I fall in love with, it's just your personality.
Yeah, I don't know. That I can't say relate in any bit of that, but I can understand how growing up, I mean, you have friends, they're females, they're over all the time. Parents they would never expect it. I mean, nowadays it's kind of like, well, what if, but I mean, if either of my boys came out as, like they wanted to be gay or anything else, I don't think I would be mad or yell at either one of them.
See,
And
fish.
I'm personally I'm a Christian. I I go to church. I preached. I know what the Bible, and we'll touch base on that a little bit. But I know what it says about everything, but it also talks about loving one another and being accepting. So it's like, there was a woman in the Bible that she was cheating on her husband, got caught. Everybody was about to stone her, and Jesus came up and was like, hey, whoever doesn't have any sin in their life, cast the first stone. So before it was all, once it was all over, he was like, where are your accusers? And she was like, well, they're not here. And Jesus said, well, neither do I accuse you. So I mean, my life's not perfect. There's a lot that's that I have to work on. So I mean, who am I to judge someone else? I'm not, there's no way I could be like, well, you're going to hell for this, or I mean, it's just that's that right there to me makes my religion look bad whenever people start acting like that. And like I said, we'll touch base about that here in a little bit. But I got a quick question. How has the LGBTQ plus community how's it evolved over the years? What's some of the most significant milestones or changes that have taken place?
Well,
I mean, to you personally.
last time you asked me this, I actually had an answer, and then you changed my whole perspective, so now I don't have an answer.
What
Thanks
was your
for-
answer before?
Well, I said, like, like we evolved because we were able, like they signify like the marriage equality, like, so everyone can get married, like gay people can get married.
Mhm.
Well, then after the last discussion we had, I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, no, Ryan's kind of right. I'm kind of right. You put both perspectives together. Yeah, that's about right.
Do you want to go ahead and I mean I don't mind anything being shared. I mean, this is what a podcast is about, but do you mind elaborating so others would know?
So when you asked last time, if like I saw that like as like a win for like us, or if it's just like the government, like, trying to like secure more votes like on the political stance. When I thought back onto it, I thought about it, I'm like, Ryan is kind of right. Whereas like at the same time, I felt like it was like a step up for us because marriage equality, we can finally like be married, be recognized, stuff like that. But then
Right.
when you're like, well, what if it's like the government just like doing this? And I thought about it and I was just like, you're a bit right when it like I feel like you're kind of right when it comes to that, because of the fact like there's been gay people for forever. Why
Mhm.
did it take like the first black president to sit there and sign this law, whereas somebody else in the past could have done it?
Well, see, here's the irony over it all. First black president happens to be Democrat.
That makes sense.
Democrat, the Democrat Party was the ones that were big into the KKK. They were the ones, with the Jim Crow law. They were the ones that were the oppressors. But then they started seeing, we can get these votes. Let's stop, hunting them and accept them, take them in, let's give them free stuff. Let's we're the good people now. Let's forget about the past and let's focus on now, and the blame's over here because now we're doing good for you. And that's pretty much what they did. And I mean, that's not just, I mean, I guess that is a big blow at Democrats, but I mean, at the same time, Republicans, their hands aren't the cleanest either. So, what do you think the biggest challenges individuals face today within the community?
Ooh. Good question.
I mean, I know like we were supposed to have someone here today that that would have been a good question for, because of what's going on in Florida at this point in time.
I was gonna say there's like trans people being like boycotted against at this current moment, but as someone who is not transgender, that's probably like something I should speak upon. And I'm not saying this to be offensive to any other LGBT person. I just because my perspective, it's not going to be the same as someone who is transgender or anything like that.
Well, see, here's my take on it, and this is probably going to get me in trouble. There's probably people that are going to watch this and be like, man, he's ignorant.
Right.
And that's not the case.
It's okay, everyone. He lives in Texas. It's normal.
It's normal.
I'm originally from Louisiana.
Same
Still
thing.
normal.
No, that's not Mississippi or Alabama. Louisiana's kind of, they're the one. I mean, we got Mardi Gras in New Orleans. I mean,
You're Florida, but less messed up.
no.
It's a thing.
Dude, you
That's
fought a
a
gator.
thing.
You fought a gator.
You fought an alligator?
I will try and show you the picture he sent me. But yes, it was a lot worse than that originally.
Anyways,
calling me with this fun stuff, dude. Like, quit leaving me
okay.
out.
This is the question. Okay. All right. Now the whole deal with trans. Here's the thing that the trans community has. They have groups, they have supports, they have a lot of people that aren't even gay, trans, or anything like that. Like myself, even though I'm a Christian, I support what people want to be because that's the right thing to do. But real quick, if Justin and I were to be able to get together in a group and start our own group, we would be racist and homophobes, because, you know, at this point in time in America, the white male is the worst out of everyone. And it's kind of why I didn't even want to do this podcast, but I mean, at the same time, if we're gonna get canceled, let's do it early, get it out the way. But you know, it's true if you think about it. You know, I mean, there's so many things that, you know, people can say, but as soon as someone in my position says something, I'm wrong. It's just like, you know, for years, you know, you've had you know, Richard Pryor, you know, black comedian, you got Chris Rock, you got all these, you know, as a white person, completely off subject, but we can't say certain words, but we hear cracker, you know, this and that, and we hear it all the time. We don't get mad. I mean, some people do, but I don't get mad about it. But it seems like a double standard, just like if a straight white guy says something, you know, out of curiosity and it's taken the wrong way, we're the enemy, you know, and that's why I'm sitting here asking questions. I mean, do you know, like society these days, they like to go pretty much where they're told to go. So with that aspect, how is the media representation of the LGBTQ plus? I keep getting that plus, but there's a plus
If
now.
you want to go technical, it's LGBTQIA plus.
Thank you.
But
Ty's been waiting to say it this entire time.
I'm just trying to get it up. I mean, see, that's the thing. I don't know everything, and then every day it's changing. It was just the LGBT, and then all of a sudden Q comes in, then plus, and you know.
Do you know what any of this stuff means? when it comes to
I do.
LGBT. So I rattle it off.
Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, questioning, intersex, allies. And then the plus is everything else, which would be
Okay. So
I thought Q was
why?
queer, not questioning.
questioning / queer. So
Okay.
whereas like it's like you don't know. And then queer is such a wide term, like, you know, anyone could be that. Like, but if you look in the dictionary, queer also means like happy or, you know, funny or something like
Gay
that.
means happy in the dictionary.
Well, yeah, but
you
know
know
what I mean?
Flintstones have a gay old time. Back
Mhm.
whenever I was a kid, that was what I watched.
Mhm.
As a kid, I read the book and it literally said something queer in the baseball field. And for a minute, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's like, you know, no, it was literally just about like these kids playing baseball and having fun. And I was just like, oh, well, this is not the book I thought it was. But thank you. Thank you.
Judging a book by its cover. But no, why does LGBT and Q and now A?
A or IA, intersex, asexual.
Okay, well,
Plus
everybody
everything
gets
else now.
a spot, but then they just put that plus in there. So like everybody
It's ever
else,
evolving.
you know, like why do certain ones get their letter, but then everybody else just gets a plus? You know, I understand that's just going to make, you know, people say the alphabet in an out of order sequence because it's starting to become every letter. But no, seriously, why the plus? It just seems like y'all decided which ones was going to be represented than everybody else.
Exclusively inclusive.
You have to imagine that like LGBT had been there before I was born, like way before I was born.
A couple years ago.
Already been there. What?
A few
I
years
said, so it's been there for a couple years ago.
So I'm in my 20s.
A few
You're
years
young.
ago. I
whatever. But it's been
I joined
there.
the army over 20 years ago.
I graduated high school almost 13 years ago.
Yeah,
13 years ago,
in 2002.
been 12. I would have been 12.
Yeah, I
How old were you
graduated
in
high school.
2002?
Well, it's just because you guys are old, so shush.
I'm not even asking my question again.
Trying to answer the question. Anyway, like I said, the LGBT has been there since before I was born. Before you say a few years ago, I'm in my 20s. So it's been there for before I was born. But then eventually people are like, well, what happens if I'm more than just like, you know, transgender? Or if I'm more than just bisexual? And so, you know, then there became like, you know, like the questioning or like the queer, but like they're all like, well, what am I? Like, what is this? And so, which eventually led to, you know, finding out that there are people who are born with both genders, or there are people who just community,
why
but they
label
aren't.
it? Because I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're trans. If you're a cool person, I'm gonna hang out with you. So why do y'all feel the need to have to label it? Like, I'm not gonna label myself as being straight. It's not like I'm gonna walk up and be like, hey everybody, I'm straight, you know, like, and
right. You just give off
some people in the community, they are like that, you know, they're like all up in your face, like, you know, I'm gay, I'm proud, you know, if you don't like it, you know, you're a homophobe. And it's like, I'm Ryan, how are you, you know? Like, where'd you just come from?
Essentially, some people are bad, as a vegetarian is.
That vegan teacher.
Oh my God, we're not getting off on that. That's no,
but essentially, to dumb down what he's saying, there's people who are, you have to address me as this every time you see me. They get mad if you don't, and it's a slip up, or you just met him for the first time. And
let's get away from the
like one of those people who don't care, because to answer your question, I don't know why it's labeled. I can't tell you why it's labeled. Personally, I don't care for labels, and that's gonna still make me sound bad to the LGBT community. My bad. But I'm not a big fan of the labels. Like I I choose, like, I'll label myself, but after that, if you don't want to call me a they, them, because, you know, those are my pronouns, you want to call me whatever you want, go for it. I don't care. As long as you simply don't call me late for dinner, call me whatever. Because my
Here's the
child
thing.
over here doesn't call me mom. He doesn't call me dad. He calls me by my name. I wanted to be called parental unit. There's a difference. He just calls me by my name. I don't care what I'm called. I don't care what I'm labeled, because
What about those that are gender fluid? So one day, okay, they identify as a male, one day they're female. How am I supposed to know what damn day it is?
ooh,
And
I
if
got
I say it wrong, I'm the bad guy.
so that question I can actually answer really easy for you.
Oh, thank you.
You can generally somewhat tell. It's always best to just ask them, though, at the same time. It is always best to ask them, hey, what are you being called today? Or what do you
But
identify today? But generally you can tell, because, you know, some gender fluid people, and I'm speaking from experience from when I thought I was gender fluid as a kid, before I figured out that I was just non-binary and I just don't care for a gender. So when I would dress up as a boy and it would be like a day I was a guy, I always had short hair, so there's that. But I would wear like baggier, kind of like more manly clothes, and I wouldn't like do any makeup or anything. And I'd wear like a chest binder to flatten everything, and just walk around and just like, you know, with like a hoodie. Well, when I would dress up as a girl, I have wigs. So I can have long hair. I did. I don't anymore. But I would wear a wig, I'd put on makeup, I'd put on a dress, and, you know, just my Osiris's and stuff like that. And I'd just be girly. So you can generally tell between the difference of the outfits, but it's always best to just ask anyway.
so let me
Okay.
ask you this.
No, Ryan, hold on. Got a
okay.
good one. So you were saying dressing girly and dressing manly. A lot of people nowadays don't like using the terms, oh, you know, you're dressing like a girl or you're dressing like a man, because everyone can dress how they want to.
That is true.
So
But
what?
this is before this was all a big thing. Like before, like, you know, people made an issue about, oh, my little boy is shopping in the little girl section of Target. That's terrible. It's like
But
this is
now
before, you know,
it's
about
becoming
that.
more confusing. And here's the like, okay, I respect what you want to be, but where is the line on respect? Like if I slip up and call you a she and you want to be called she, or vice versa, I'm the bad guy, but I'm going out of my way off of my beliefs to respect you. But as soon as I slip up, I'm the enemy. Or like there's no mutual respect. I actually have a friend that a roommate that I had. I'm not gonna throw any names out of respect, but born she, like, you know, genetically, but is a he.
Female,
And
transgender.
thing is
Question.
well, like I said, we were roommates. So at first, oh my God, it was hell. I didn't even want to go home because I was like, fuck, I'm gonna say she. And yeah, I got my ass jumped over it. I'm sorry. Please edit those words. um but yeah, I got in a lot of trouble whenever I'd say she, even though I knew, but I felt like I was walking on eggshells. And then finally we got to a point to where he was like, I just don't even care anymore. And I'm like, look, I'm trying, but it's taken a bit. And it's just because him and I were roommates doesn't mean I'm gonna be the same with everyone. It took me a while to get to that point with him, but now, you know, okay, that's him. It's not a her. Um, so it took me a while, but at first thought I was about to be in fistfights. So I mean, there was a lot of aggression there at the very beginning, and I'm like, look, pretty much if you know me, you know who and how I am. I don't care about much of anything. Like if you want to identify as a light pole, you know what? Install a switch somewhere. That's how I know you're up. You know, I I don't care, but I mean, don't blow up at me just because I throw off on a pronoun or something. Like I don't think that's fair. There's not that mutual respect. So
Now I have a question for you.
okay.
When you and your roommate first became roommates, were you friends before then?
No, not really.
You didn't know them prior as you didn't know him prior as he was a she.
Slightly. Well, no. His dad and I both served in the army. His dad is my mom's age, maybe a little older, but him and I are friends, and that's how I met my roommate. And uh it wasn't a point to where we were roommates at the time, but I just saw him here and there, it wasn't that big of a deal. And then I was like, well, okay, I need two roommates. And he moved in, and it was she all the time, because whenever I hear a voice, I can't help but I'm sorry. I can't help but to, go that route. But like I said, over time I got better and was trying to be more respectful. But at the very beginning, there wasn't that mutual respect. It was, this dude is a straight, just like talking about me, like, he can't accept me for who I am and this and that. And that wasn't the case. It, give me a chance to get used to, like, because I mean, I have friends that are gay, I have friends that are lesbian, uh, even family members. But that was my first time having a trans roommate. I've had trans friends that it's like, okay, it's Ryan, he's gonna get this wrong all the time, and I would try, they would see I was trying, but we could we can go a little longer, just to answer that. But with with them, they're like, at first it was the same thing, you know, this guy's is just straight ass, can't deal with them. And then they got to know me and got to see that I was actually trying, but my try isn't that good. Um, I I put my foot in my mouth all the time, and I speak before I think. That's half my problem. Um, and I don't think very well. I mean, I'll just put that out there. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I just I've always felt like, if I don't automatically jump on that level, then I'm wrong. And that's what I've seen with my friends, my roommate, everybody. Uh was just always quick to snap at me until we became friends and got to know each other a little bit more. Um, but I would try to give that respect at the beginning, but I wasn't getting it back. Not until it's like I had to earn their respect. But the thing is they didn't have to earn mine. I was trying to give it, but I would slip up, and those slip ups, it's like the good I was trying to do wasn't as it wasn't meeting equally with the slip ups of calling him her or her a him, it it was just, all right, yep, that's not my pronoun, you can go to hell now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like I'm trying.
So to kind of clarify like why it felt like the slip ups were outweighing the good is because even though you're doing it on accident, you didn't know that you were making them feel invalidated. So like even though you were doing it on accident whenever you misgendered him, like with the wrong pronoun when you said he was a she, they weren't seeing that as you trying. They were seeing that as this man is deliberately being an a-hole towards me.
Oh,
Like they were seeing it as I am valid, but you're not allowing me to be valid, which is, like I can understand both parties. I can understand you trying. I really can. Because I obviously you're a really good person, you're a nice person, and you're trying to understand. And I can understand their personal feelings. Me personally, I don't know, like because when you said mutual respect, even I know you have to get respect or you have to give respect to get respect. It's not
right.
just, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this for you, and then you give me the respect. No, it's you have to both be like the same when it comes to respect. While I suck with respecting authority figures, I can totally respect someone's identity and pronouns. Well, generally to kind of get that mutual respect nowadays, you just when you introduce someone, you just look at them and you don't say it to be offensive because I don't know, maybe it's just LGBT
Sorry,
people really do have a radar, they can notice each other. But 3/4 of the times when you meet someone new, you just simply, hi, I'm this. And then when they introduce themselves, they'll tell you their name. And then you're all like, well, may I ask what your pronouns are? And then afterwards you can probably talk and be like, I'm not saying this to be rude. I just want to know a bit about you, see if how you're doing, stuff like that. And then when, they tell you their pronouns, just tell them, I suck at remembering, but I'm going to try my hardest. Because personally, I don't care if you call me a they. I don't care if you call me a she or a he. Like I said, I only care if you call me late for dinner. Just don't ever call me that and we're fine. I
Yeah,
could care less
because
what I'm called.
medically, I do have short-term memory. I suffer from a TBI. Um,
Is that what
and
that affects?
Traumatic brain injury. He has Dory effect.
yeah,
I have
I'm
traumatic
like
brain injury as well.
Dory with
I
a
can't remember
inhibitor.
anything short term.
Yeah. So with me having that short-term memory issue, that's in no way me trying to be like, look, this is my excuse, but I mean it is an issue. Uh, we're all enrolled at Full Sail together. As soon as I take a test, I've done forgot what I just took the test on because I'm moving on to something else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can really fit that. There's a lot of questions that I'm gonna skip because we kind of went off on uh I know I'm doing most of the talking.
Well,
uh,
here's a question.
I was gonna say
When it
Justin's
when it comes to those that are furries and they gender themselves as a cat, a Nico, a dog, whatever such as that, how are we supposed to address all of that stuff without being totally offensive?
that kind of brings me into
That's
my next
okay.
question.
Well, I guess it is something because I actually do know someone who's like that. Oh Lord. Oh my God. You gotta ask them that one. You cannot ask me. That I do not know. I know this is a serious conversation and I'm not supposed to take that funny, but that one made me laugh a bit because I forgot that was a thing. Like people did that. And
That's
my
the
I had a
plus. Don't
high
forget about the
school's
plus.
I forgot. I had a friend in high school's uncle who was proud to be a furry and a brony, and I'm sitting here like,
Wait,
bro, wait,
what?
what?
A
I had no
brony
idea.
is someone who is really into My Little Pony.
As a man,
They're yes, they're the older
Kind of like
gentlemen.
the Bob's Burger deal to where they had the little pony deal. Y'all gotta watch that episode. It was men dressing as ponies, and just don't worry about it. I'm not even gonna get off on that tangent. Just Google Bob Burger pony episode.
No, thank you. I don't like Bob's Burgers anyway.
Yeah. If it's on TV, I'll watch it. I don't care. Especially if the remote's not close.
Anywhere close.
I have a 3-year-old child who watches what I watch. I gotta be on the ball with that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've just watched Sing 2. Actually my son fell asleep the other night while it was on, and I stayed up just to finish the movie, and I've already seen it so many times. I was already invested. But what's crazy, Justin asking the furry comment, the next part I was going into, I don't even know if I want to ask anymore. But
I probably can't answer it and I'll probably laugh. And I know that sounds so rude. So nobody thinks I'm being offensive.
okay,
But
yeah, I'm not being offensive either, but
I just couldn't handle that.
sexual orientation or wolf in sheep's clothing.
Is this pertaining to the bathroom question I read on the skit?
Yes, seriously. Like there's so many people that take advantage, like predator wise, that take advantage of this. They see it as an open door. Like, okay,
And
how do you address the issue of sexual violence and harassment within the LGBTQIA plus community? And what resources are available for survivors of abuse? And this is strictly for the LGBTQIA plus community. Yeah,
Good job. That was for Dory effect. That was really, really good. It's not something that's easy to say up that fast.
Yeah.
That was really good. Okay, so yes, based on when you said gender identity or wolf in sheep's clothing, sadly, if you Google like MAP, that is a real thing that somehow has been integrated into the LGBT plus community, and
Elaborate.
Can you just Google it, bro?
No, elaborate. PG,
So,
elaborate.
MAP stands for minor attracted person.
aka what people now call a pedophile. Or
Yes.
used to call
No,
a
what
pedophile.
people have
Yes.
been calling for years.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
I
so
meant.
that is a real issue. But at the same time, any actual trans person is not going to the bathroom to look at your child. They are going to the bathroom to pee, to do their business, and get out
But
of there.
here's the thing.
Due
There
to the
are
fact that there's
people,
so much hate.
there are people that are predators that identify as a woman to go into the woman's bathroom. I mean, would it make me homophobic not to want, and I'm saying my little girl, but would it make me homophobic not to want my little girl in a restroom with a natural born male? Or would it make me a protective father? I mean, it
All right, let's
could
go
be
with
the
me.
We've
case.
seen it both ways, sadly.
It could
Let's
be the
keep-
case that it is a trans male, which is now female. That could be the case. But it could also just be a man that's just trying to sneak in. So am I really, if
That's why I
anyway.
always say that it could be seen as both ways. You can either be, overprotective or homophobic. I can't tell you based on your stance, based on my stance, because at the same time, I'm sitting there like I personally feel like a gender neutral bathroom is kind of what LGBT people need, like specifically. Like I
Well,
feel like they like a
Walmart
specific.
has the family bathroom.
Yeah, and that's a little weird because I'm trying to take my son to the bathroom in a family bathroom, and oh look, there's a grown up. No, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you put this family bathroom in there, but personally, I'm trying to take my child to the bathroom. It's bad enough I have to eventually walk in the men's bathroom with my tiny child. Because yes, I know moms take their little boys, or parents, female parents take their little boys into the women's restroom, and that's just disrespectful in my opinion. Like,
The thing
why am I taking my son into the women's restroom when there are,
It smells better.
grown women, and I'm trying to protect them so they don't feel uncomfortable.
the thing
not my kid.
I mean, as a male, if I was in the restroom and my wife was outside the restroom and a female is walking out the restroom that I was just in, I'm gonna be somebody's gonna be in trouble.
I was gonna say, life is filing for divorce, bro. There's no saving that, sadly.
Yeah, so see, but my wife has been with, my 5-year-old that needs to go to the restroom. Because of the predators, I don't feel comfortable letting my son go into the guy's bathroom by himself. It's just the sad facts of our world, but I'll be damned if my wife goes in the men's restroom, so
there's the difference between you, your wife, and your child, though. I'm my son's only parent.
Right.
So I have to take him to the men's restroom, because if I take him into the women's restroom, there's some grown lady who's going to be offended that I brought a little boy with long hair who has a disability into the woman's restroom.
Well, see, that's
here. Let her be offended.
See, why should you have to, your beliefs, your feelings, why are you having to bend over backwards because you're scared to offend someone else? Why is that the world we are living in? Like, why can't it just be, hi, I'm Ryan, you're Ty, and that's what we are. Ryan and Ty.
Screw me, I'm Justin.
Well,
you guys.
Hi, Justin. How are you? Nice to meet
Justin,
you.
But the fact that I'm getting is, why is a damn pronoun so important when it's the person that matters? I don't care if you're non-binary. I don't care if you're a he, a him, or what. What matters.
We all bleed red. We are all humans.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the thing is you could be non-binary, but if you're a dick, I don't want to be around you.
That's a mood.
But if
That
you're
is
Brady wants to be
fine
around me.
and you're cool, then what's up? Let's hang out. You know, I mean, but just because you're whatever, don't think you are entitled to specialness. That's my deal. Where's my specialness? You know, like, why can't Ryan be special? You know, no,
You are.
I don't have a pronoun, so
Especially your own way, if it makes you feel
well,
better.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm getting at.
42 Wallaby Way, dude.
You forgot the Sydney. And the P. Sherman.
I don't need that. All I need is just the 42 Wallaby Way.
No,
That's
because
all
the
you-
whole
that's all
thing
someone
is
needs to say.
P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
See, but all I gotta say is the 42 Wallaby Way, and people automatically know what I'm talking about. I'm calling him Dory.
I just now caught on to what you were saying, so
You're right.
As we
You're right.
said, you're special in your own way, Ryan.
oh, Jesus.
I wonder if that is who we were supposed to have. No, it's just another person in our school chat. Okay, never mind.
Just
Never
another
mind.
person. Everybody in our school chat is special.
Well,
Y'all
I
remember
wasn't about to say
Y'all
their
remember
name
that.
in the podcast. That's disrespect because I don't have their permission.
All right. Well,
And
I mean, we're running out of time right now.
Yeah, we are.
Ryan's got to go places,
Uh,
but
Places.
this will
Gotta go to
be
the
a
VA.
couple part podcast. The next couple times, I hope we have Ty back because this has been fun.
Yes,
We should
you have to
have
come
one or
back
two
with
more
us.
other people with us. Oh yeah, Ty, you're being dragged back with us. Don't worry, you're not going anywhere. Next time we're gonna make it for 6 o'clock in the morning, so it's 5 o'clock your time.
Anywhere.
so you mean when I'm actually still awake and before I go to bed at night?
You know, if
Oh,
I
no,
put
we'll wait
cute
until,
post on my face, it turns off, but it's not doing it right now. No, because you're special.
Jessica will be like, no, we're gonna wait till you actually just fall asleep and be like, hey, wake up. I'll be like, I was awake 5 seconds ago.
No, just let us know when you're about to fall asleep, and I'll make sure we schedule it for 30 minutes afterwards.
Hey,
She'll trip out
you
if she
should be
hears.
lucky I woke up after a 4-hour nap.
You heard? You'll freak out if you hear. Ty, wake up.
I mean, maybe, but maybe not at the same time. I would probably just be like, huh, who's there? And then think like, my kid doesn't sound like that when he talks to me.
No, but it's me and
And then
Ryan in your bedroom.
Yeah. We're outside with the microphone ready.
Hey, make sure to
I
wear
mean-
pants from now on.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my coworker, who I've known since middle school. Listen, you try to crawl through my window, you will be forced to cuddle. We are not going to work. We are cuddling. After I wake up, if it is still work hours, we can go. But you're stuck with me after that. Like you don't get to like threaten to climb through my window or to like wake me up. I am that person who would either punch you or you're just going to be straight just
Well-
grabbed and forcibly like my son's pretty little pillow. Okay, you're just gonna be snuggled.
What is the golden rule that you've been hearing? It's not gay if
If you wear socks.
or
It's not gay if it's in a 3-way with the honey in the middle. There's a little leeway.
if you don't cuddle after, or if you don't look each other in the eyes.
But mainly the socks.
I
Wearing
mean,
socks.
if you catch eye contact through a mirror, that doesn't count.
Actually, I'm not wearing socks right now.
I mean, I'm not either, but
What's up, Ryan?
I got my socks and shoes on.
I can't. My
So
heart.
close.
All right, but over the next couple, maybe 1 to 2, we'll see how it goes. Ryan has a huge list of questions to ask, even though despite the few we've knocked through today. And there goes all the questions out the window again.
Yeah, no. There's many. There is
And just say right now, he has a few questions that he's sitting on.
I feel like his podcast is going much better when he's not trying to look at those questions on the script, though. Or as I called it, the skit on accident. So I don't want this. Don't think that we're like we planned this out, like how to skip for it. No, it was a script that he had pre-sent me, so I could like look at the questions and try to answer them. And I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I sent the script to all three of y'all. That way
Yeah.
it didn't feel like I was ambushing anyone, because I told y'all from the very beginning, this is going to feel like a setup, because I have questions and follow-up questions. And
stories for each of those.
Google,
Yeah, I learned.
Google, Chat, GPT, and a few other places is where I got my questions. So that's the source. Pretty much what I did is what's most frequently asked questions, and got some answers and this and that, but I wanted y'all to answer. I felt it would be fun that way, to get a different aspect instead of having an AI or a whole bunch of people I don't know off Google answering it.
Okay, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
So when you're like speaking, why reference, you're a Christian so many times?
Because I have questions in here pertaining to that. And the reason I kept pointing that out is because Justin is not a Christian by any means.
Agnostic.
Yeah, he's
I
over
don't
here.
give
I'm over
two
here.
craps about religion, to be honest.
And the thing is, politically, pretty much in any aspect, Justin and I do not agree on anything except for the cuddling, the socks, the three-way.
It looked like you agree perfectly fine to me in any other aspect I've seen you two interact. So
No,
we just get along. We see each other's differences and we accept it.
yeah, that's really what it is we respect each other. The reason I kept bringing up that I'm a Christian is because a lot of people see Christians as the bad guy in the LGBTQIA plus community, because
a whole bunch of Christians who are a part of the community, though.
Exactly.
Well, we will dive further into this in the next podcast.
Real quick, just to answer her question.
Ryan, you're supposed to go to your thing.
I know. But, to answer your question, there are a lot of extremists in any religion, any belief. There's extremists in your group. There's extremists in my religion. There's extremists in other religions. Just like whenever, Iraq, Muslims, there's extremists over there. Everybody thinks Muslims are bad, but Muslims aren't bad. Completely different subject. But there's extremists that make the whole group look bad. But by me stating that I'm a Christian, I'm accepting. This is my belief. This is the VA, but it's my belief. And do I agree? Is it a lifestyle I would pick? I mean, evidently not. I mean, I'm married. I have kids, and it's the path I chose, but it's also the path I didn't choose.
So if I were to tell you that God already had your path written before you were chosen to come to Earth, would that make sense?
Yeah, but at the same time, we still have our free will.
That is true. But at the same time, if I were to tell you, like, you already knew previously of your path, like what you were supposed to come down here to do. And as we grow older, we forget that path. We forget what we're supposed to do. So sometimes we stray away from it. Sometimes we stay on top of it. Sometimes we stay on task. But we are given a scroll we read through before we come down to Earth. We are chosen to come to Earth and to live our destiny and our path before we go back to Him. Would you believe that? Like, would you believe me?
Well, it's in my belief, we're all called to be ministers. We're all called to, speak, the truth, our truth, my truth and your truth might be different, but we're all called to be ministers. That is my belief. How you choose to minister is, your belief. And I mean, this is a whole other topic that, I mean, we can actually do a podcast on this subject. So I do have to head out to the VA. I pushed it longer than what I should have. But I enjoy talking to y'all. If y'all would, again, this is the Maddox Minute. We are on every streaming podcast site except for Apple. We're working on that. We just got Google. We are on YouTube. If you would hit the like, subscribe button, please show us some love. We're a new podcast trying to grow. And until next time, no homo.
Bye. Next week, we're going to tackle
love
some
you
kinks
all.
as well. Just a little teaser. Next week, we're doing kinks as well. So until next time, y'all have a great time.
Later.
Dude, I'll join you for that one.